Today, guys, the plan is to see if we can get this Mini started. So once again, Gary from Thor Motorworks is here. He's just having a breather. We are on the Mini again today. We've already had one casualty. When I was jacking it up on the side, basically the jack gave out from underneath me when I was trying to put the jack stand. And luckily, we got away with just a little scratch on there. But it's only just a replacement of this, which Gary's said he's got some of these. These are just obviously side skirts. So we've got one casualty with that, so we need to replace that. But we are making some good moves forward. Right, so if you know that we had an issue where we broke our cat, as you can see, we snapped it. So Gary's got this one with us, and it's an aftermarket one, but it's still kind of stock regulation, should we say, apart from the fact that the flexi, as you can see on this new one, is a lot smaller compared to this one, which Gary said can fail. So the plan is to get that changed over today, and then also get the Milltek on, which we've got. But currently we're having an issue in here with the oil filter housing, which we changed once, but there's again another problem. Okay, so basically what we've got is this back drain plug spring. Don't know if you can see. There's like these little, oh, there's two of them are missing. Yeah. So basically where you've got this little point here, there should be two more around the other side, but they've snapped off. So the first thing we need to do is check to make sure that, well, where they are, to see if they're not in the oil filter housing. But two, I've been left with the lovely job from Gary to basically, I've got to try and pry the old one out of here without breaking it. Oh, you can see access in there. You can, but it's not much. We could just like, imagine if we had a grinder, we just dice it open. Just cut the whole thing apart. It is a bit dramatic, but then it's going to be more dramatic if I break it trying to get it out. Yeah, because like you say, they've got that little lip. So the problem is if you just try to pull that out, thanks, mate. You're really putting confidence in me. You really are. It says online just to pull it off. I don't just want to yank it. Success. I've got it out. So my little trick, which actually I haven't even told Gary yet. Do you know what my trick was to get it out? Wedging the, I don't know, pins open, and then using TP toothpicks to wedge into each one. So basically where you can see these three little teeth, I was just using a pick of Gary's to just pry it inwards, and then I was just pushing a TP stick in, and basically once I'd done all three, it just popped out. There you go. Dental hygiene tools can be used on cars as well. So the spring is all into the oil filter housing. We just need to put the oil filter on. But Gary, while I was doing that, Gary's been busy. So he's basically put in the mini window because he bought me up a window from one of his cars that he's breaking. So he's changed it over because we had I think it was Pilkington was the brand. If I just show you. So this was the glass. Yeah, Pilkington was the brand. So this was in there. It just didn't fit as well. Didn't know if that might have been one of the reasons why it was leaking. He's changed that over. I think I said before when Gary was up, we've changed these over because they can get quite crusty on the outside. So take them off, bit of WD-40, clean them up. If you can't clean them, just get some off a car that is good, and then basically slide those on so that you create a decent seal along here. And then this is sitting a lot more flush with this up on here. And then Gary's also found that on the other one, which he's doing now, basically the person who had it before hadn't sat the glass here into this kind of little rubber groove. It was sat this side, so that side of it. So basically it was too close to the cogs that sit in here. So he's basically just taken the glass out and he's moved it back over on the driver's side. So hopefully that side shouldn't have this weird gap we had running down here. And then this side should hopefully be good now and nice and flush with this, and creating a seal that we aren't going to be getting water into the door card, because we were getting water into there. And we think that might have been the main reason for the condensation, and also the mold, which was on the roof, which obviously we need to get sorted down the line with changing over the headliner. So whilst Gary's buttoning up that, well, what we need to do is we need to put the oil filter on to there while we've got room. And then we also need to feed the headers up through here, because obviously we need to put on this new one, and then we can hopefully get on the Milltek, and we should be hopefully getting towards a first start. Optimistic, but I'm glad at least that we got that spring out of that old oil filter housing, because if we couldn't have done that, we'd have had to have ordered one. It would have just put more stops. So yes, we had one issue today so far. I've screwed my side skirt, but that is the least of my worries. The windows are going well. We got the spring out of there. We're going to get the headers on, get the oil filter on, get the exhaust all set up, and then fingers crossed we can put fluids in it and hopefully get a first start. It's all buttoned up. So the spring's in there. We've also got clamps on there because obviously we got the fancy, are they pro hoses ones? I think the blue ones that came with it. I can't remember. The fancy blue hoses that came with it from Ben. He didn't sell us another dodgy one. Luckily, we're glad. Windows are done. So whilst Gary has a little breather, I'm going to get under here and try and feed this into the engine bay. Yeah, it's just getting it past that anti-roll bar, isn't it? Would you want to hook it past the anti-roll bar first?
Yeah, you want to get it past.
That won't work, will it? But there's no room for it to rotate, is there? Got it? So a little tip from the master. Once you've got that through, put the gasket on and then just cable tie it, just to hold it in place. So that I'm assuming what you can do is then bolt up the two ends, and then just take the cable tie off and bolt the rest of it up.
Yeah, just cut them off. And then everything's lined up and you've got to try and hold everything in place there.
There we go. I haven't mentioned that as well, but we have done that. We actually dropped the subframe down a little bit as well to make it easier to get to, because otherwise it would have been an absolute ball ache. And yeah, we could have put these on a higher level, but like I say, I tried that earlier. This one slipped out, and how that happened is this thing actually went into here. I am so lucky it actually just only slightly, as you can see, scraped on that paint, which is going to be covered up as soon as you put this side skirt back on. So I'm not really fussed about it. And Gary said he's got a couple of these. They're like 25 quid a set, and then they basically just bolt on underneath. So that's not going to be a problem. Not a problem there. But yeah, we had to drop the subframe, and we're going to get this manifold put on, and then we need to get the Milltek cap back hooked up from the midsection backwards. So just buttoning up the manifold, and then we've got the back end of the exhaust system's gone. So we've got the Milltek, which I'm buzzing to get on, because when I had the Mini before, I put on a Malian exhaust, but this one's in really good condition. Picked it up second hand for the same price as a brand new Malian, but it is a Milltek, so I'm looking forward to that. And then a few more bits. We've got radiator to do as well, oils, liquids, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, first start.
One side.
Yeah. So guys, we've been cracking on. The intake is all in. This was a bit of a bugger. We actually had to cut it with a Stanley knife, actually at the top and then at the bottom. But it's all in because we were a little bit worried about it looking a bit thin in here, but actually it does look like it's going to be all good. Gary's got the intercooler back on. We can put the kind of diverter cover on here. We're just going to put it into these two holes for now, because obviously we need to sort out these two brackets. But if we are, or when we get uprated intercooler, then you know we'll be able to change things around anyway, so it's not going to be too much of an issue for that. So I'm buzzing to just hear what this is going to sound like. I don't think it's going to be loud, because the resonator on this thing, which I showed you earlier, is absolutely massive. It is a big old section. So, new radiator is on. Me and Gary have both had that pigeon up there do its business on us today as well. He didn't get me much. He got me a little bit here above my mic and down in my pocket. Gary got it all down his back earlier, but we've taken out the fuel pump fuse and we're just kind of like priming it to just get some oil circulating. So it's not started for a while, and obviously we've just put the new oil in. We are ready, fingers crossed, for first start. Exciting times. So we thought we were having a few issues, and the only thing we basically forgot to do was just, okay, if we got to lock these basically in place. So now that we've done that, the fuel pump starts. So we'll just turn that over. So just trying to get oil into the system, trying to get it going. Give it a few primes, get some oil flowing before we try and give it a full first start up. So guys, it is the next day, as you can tell, and from the footage as you've just seen, we did not get the car started, and Gary stayed till quite late. He plugged in an INPA reader, which is like BMW's OBD reader, and we could not get this thing started. We had looked at fault codes. He was having to use Google Lens to translate the INPA reader or whatever it was, because it's all in German because it's from BMW. So, like I say, we just couldn't get the car started. It's something we believe to do with an issue disconnection between the ECU and the key fob when the battery has been disconnected for too long. Now the car was turning over, but it just wasn't firing and cranking. I changed the battery key fob. I said, is it low on fuel? And it's got a bit of fuel in there. We tried jumping it off a car as well, because the battery pack we thought might just not be powerful enough. We didn't know if the voltage was high enough, loads of different things. Anyway, so I locked the car up and I thought, right, I'm just going to leave it there. And then when I actually had to pop back into the car to get something, I thought I'll just give it a shot. And the car actually started last night, which was mad. So what we're going to do today is hopefully get us started up again. Fingers crossed, because I'm a little bit worried. And then what we've just done as well is we've just actually filled the system with water, because if I show you in here, look, even like you can see how grimy it still is. So the plan is to get her started, let her run with water, get her hot, then drain the water out and then get coolant in and then bleed the system, and fingers crossed we should be all good. So let's have fingers crossed first for the start up right now. So I've also put a little bit of fuel in it as well. Fingers crossed it starts up again. Let's go. Hey! Yes! And literally I think a bird has just took a dump on me. Honestly, I think a bird literally just took a dump on me. I felt something on my head, but I don't care because it started. I am so chuffed right now. We have got a starting car. Not gonna lie, it's a bit smoky. Oh, the Milltek. Oh wow, it's quite a lot of water coming out of that. So yeah, we'll leave that to do its thing. But I am so chuffed. I am buzzing. So what we've got to do is we've got to check for any leaks. Hopefully oil or water is not coming out of this. Looks good. I can't see anything dripping. Looks good so far. So a very successful weekend with the Mini. I am chuffed because we've finally got this thing started. We've got loads of things done, and obviously a massive thank you to Gary from Thor Motorworks. Please go and give him a subscription, follow him as well, and help him along with his channel because he's been amazing with helping me. Like I say, I'm proud of myself because I've done a lot of work for myself as well. You know, getting under the car, changing things I've never done before, I never thought I would do, and just learning as I go through this process. So it's been absolutely amazing. The car is running, so we can now move on to the next things, which are MOT, maybe take it on track and then seeing where we go with this car next. Let me know, what do you want me to do with it? Do you want me to just get it on the road, just have it as a fun car, or do you want to see it on track? So let me know. We'll see you in the next one very, very soon. And as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace out.